Okay, our objective today is to review for your quiz you have tomorrow. So let me just explain the quiz. It's on lessons 2.1 through 2.3 that includes unit rates. So basically it's the first part of chapter 2. We are going to do a review later on in class today. I will post the answers on Blackboard so you guys and girls can check. But I will encourage you to study some of the problems in your notes, some of the problems in your homework packet, because the review we're going to do later on in class today does not give us the wide range and array of problems that you'll see tomorrow. Just make sure you go over some problems in your notes as well as in your homework packet, because we've done some difficult problems. You could see some of those on the quiz tomorrow. And again, that will include unit rates. It's about 30 points. I'll let you know tomorrow for sure how many points it is. You'll have the whole class. I don't think you'll need all 45, 50 minutes, but I will give it to you guys just in case. Okay? And if there's extra time, we'll move on to the next lesson. Okay, so let's start with going over the warm-up, and then we'll go to homework, okay? Some of the warm-up problems I threw in are from chapter 1. The point of that is I'm going to start spiraling the concepts and skills. Why would I start throwing in old material? Charles, why? Yeah, I do not want you to forget it. My whole goal for you guys this year is to retain majority of the concepts that we learned this year. When I say retain, remember them so that next year when you get to Algebra 1, it'll be easy for you. When you get to geometry, you'll have a really good foundation, okay? If you forget something, feel free to look back in your notes. Everything we do is back in your notes. If you're still not sure after you look back in your notes, come ask me, okay? But I want you to use your notes as a tool, okay? There's always, all the information is always in there. Okay, let's start with going over number 1. Emma M., what did you get for number 1? Good job. Number 2, Zach. Nope. Did you distribute? You didn't. You kind of rewrote the problem. Did you forget to distribute? Okay. You sure you don't have anything underneath that? Okay. Charles, what did you get? Great job. That's a hard one. Number 3 also makes you think. Annalise? Did you say cubed? Ooh, sorry, I thought he said to the 4th. Okay. Oh, it should be cubed for the first one. I wrote it wrong. Annalise, thank you. I wrote it wrong. He said it right. I wrote it wrong. Sometimes we all make mistakes, but thank you. Not sure why I did that. Mary, next one. There's not a plus sign here. These are all multiplication. Emma H. It is. Here's why. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 9x squared times 3x squared, so 9 times 3 is 27. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. Okay, Adam, you forgot to just add all the exponents up, I'm guessing. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. It's the easiest way to do it. And then 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So remember, guys, if there's nothing in between it, it's a multiplication symbol. Okay, let me finish going over the answers, then I'll come back to questions. Justin, number 4. Good, 9x. Number 5, Sean. Good job, negative 2x. Number 6, Briar. Okay, why don't you try to do it right now? Nope, you're just rereading the problem. Adam? No, you're rewriting the problem. Alyssa? Good job. 12AB. Multiply the coefficients, mush the variables together, because they're not like terms, so just leave them next to each other. Annalise? Okay, but there's not a plus sign. This is multiplication. No plus sign. There's an invisible multiplication symbol between them. You're not adding anything. It's all multiplication. So yeah, go ahead. Okay, before I move to the next page, any questions on 1 through 6? Briar. Mush them together. Yep. Because when you know the numbers, you can multiply. 3 times 4 is 12. But when you're looking at the letters, yes, you can multiply them together, but you're just putting them next to each other because they're different variables, and we don't know what A and B are. So just keep them right next to each other. Does that make sense? Okay, Annalise? They are multiplication. It's the distributive property. When you're distributing, that means multiply. Okay? You okay with those two? Mary? Yes, you may. Matt? Yes, you may. Okay, any other questions on 1 to 6? Annalise? Okay, do you want to finish it and I'll come back to see if you have questions on it? Okay. Okay, so negative 4y cubed times negative y. There's really a 1 in front of here. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. Y to the third times y is y to the fourth. Because when you're multiplying the same base, you have to add the exponents. Okay, probably just forgot to add them. Okay. Okay, can I talk to you later about it?
Yeah, and also I'm going to be in your 9th grade class.
Okay. That's fine. I'll talk to you in class or at lunch today. Okay. Thanks, Kevin. Sorry, guys, we had a 9th grade problem. Sorry, Annalise. Does this part make sense? Yeah, sorry, I'm laughing at the 9th graders. Okay, yes. Make sense? All right, anyone else on 1 through 6 before I go to the other ones? It's funny, they come to me and they're randomly like, why is my grade so low? Well, maybe you should turn your homework in, right? All right, number 7. I'll keep laughing to myself. Doug, number 7. Close, close. Only 2 other hands that you're confident. Anyone else confident that? I am not. Remember, it's okay if it's wrong. I just want to see. Jeremy? Shh, shh, shh.
It would be negative 2x plus 2 because...
Nope. You're getting there. You're half right. He's half right. Emma M?
I don't know. Negative 2.4.
No. Alyssa? Nope. Charles? No. No. Just a hint and a news flash, you guys. You might see these on your test tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Zach, shh, shh. Yeah, I did teach you it in chapter 1. Shh. Yeah, simplify it for us.
Oh, it's order
Zach, go ahead. Oh no.
what to do now. Now I've got it.
Sean. Shh.
6px.
Nope. Shh. Donatus. Nope. Charles. Shh. No, hold on. Keep going. Shh. Yay. Okay. Here's why. Listen. Guys, this has not been, you said negative 2/5, Doug. Okay, this is from the end of chapter 1. So listen, you are dividing, but at the same time, you're simplifying. Do you guys remember this weird looking thing? Okay. Hint, hint, you may see this tomorrow. So that means some of you need to brush up on this. Okay? Just because it's not in chapter 2 doesn't mean you will not see it again on a test. That's the way, and that's the reason you guys will remember all this. The past 4 years of teaching this, the 6th graders by the end of the year have remembered everything from the book. So that's why I always do this. Annalise? Negative 2x divided by negative 5 is positive 2/5 because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Keep the x next to it because it just stays there. You're dividing. Negative 10 divided by negative 5 is positive 2.
So you can't divide the numbers that you have to divide by.
You just leave it as a fraction because it already is a fraction. Okay? It's 2 fractions. Mary?
You have 2x.
Yep, yep. You can have it written as 2x over 5 plus 2. That's fine with me. Same thing. Adam. Go ahead.
If the bottom, if the 5 was a positive, would the first bracket?
Yes. Yep. Shh, guys, hold on. 1% at a time. Yes. Yep. Emma M.
So it's a fraction, whatever sign it is, or is it just
No, yeah, it's because right now there's two negatives you're dividing. When you divide two negatives, it becomes a positive. Justin? No, because that's undefined. And that won't happen. Doug? Okay, yeah. And that's okay. That's all right. I wanted to keep going until someone could figure it out. All right, number 8. Matt, what'd you get? Nope. Close though. Briar? No, you guys each have parts of it right. Mary? Okay, the only thing you need to change is it should be negative 4x squared. Okay, let me go over the first part of this quickly. Okay, you need to drop down the 3x because that's not distributed. The negative 2 gets distributed, and then the negative 4x gets distributed. So when you distribute the negative 2, we have negative 8 plus 10x. Drop down the positive 10. Distribute the negative 4x through. So this is minus 4x squared minus 4x. At that point, you're combining like terms. The 4x squared does not have a like term, so you're just dropping that down. The 3x, the positive 10x, and the negative 4x are like terms, so combine them. That's how you get 9x. And then the negative 8 plus 10 is positive 2. That's how you get to the positive. That's more of a trig pre-calc concept, yeah, but in algebra and algebra 2, that's something that is not a polynomial, which you'll get to next year. So you could, but not for a couple years. Okay, Mary? A polynomial is something, actually, this is a polynomial, this answer right here, because by definition, it's the sum of monomials. This is a monomial, this is a monomial, this is a monomial. That's all I'm going to say about it for now, because you don't need that yet. Okay? Emma M.
you ever be our math teacher?
Typically, I always teach the 6th grade 2 years in a row. Like I would have you guys next year, but they just changed it last year, so I don't have you for algebra now. But it's okay. We'll see what happens next year. Okay, number 9. Number 9, Adam.
I'm pretty sure I did this wrong. But 4/16 x minus 1x.
You're close. You just wrote to simplify something. Annalise, what'd you get?
Oh,
4x over 416
You need to simplify both of them. You split them up, you just need to simplify. Zach? 1/4 x minus 1/2. I am also okay with 0.25x minus 0.5. Emma H? Yes, you may. Matt? That's fine. Perfect. Emma M? 1/4 is not 0.4. 1/4 is 0.25. Hold on. Adam? Because I want you to keep it as a fraction. You can change it to a decimal. It's not wrong. Yeah, you can keep it as a decimal. I'm okay with that. But I want to try to get you guys in the habit of leaving things as fractions because that's technically how you should do it. But I'm okay with the decimal. Okay? When you had initially told me, I think you might have said negative 0.4, and that's why I told you you were wrong. If it was positive 0.4, I'm okay with it. But I could be wrong. Did you initially have 0.4 for this one? Yeah. Oh, okay. So never mind. You can definitely have that. Annalise. Yes. If you didn't simplify the fraction, yes. Because I have told you guys a lot to do that, especially in chapter 1. Doug, is this a math question? Okay, hold on. Justin, is this on number 9 or the next one? Okay, Doug, the next one. Good job. Yay. Now I feel better about the quiz tomorrow. 5x squared plus x, or you could have 5x squared plus 1x. Annalise? Okay, I'll go over it. Okay, so number 10, very first thing we need to do is drop down the 4x. Okay, distribute positive 3x through. So plus 3x squared minus 3x. Drop down the plus 2x squared. Okay, then combine like terms. 3x squared plus 2x squared is 5x squared. 3 plus 2 is 5. 4x minus 3x is 1x, so the 1x is down here.
Oh, I put my circle over half my extra size.
Be careful with that. Okay, Donatus? Yep, that's fine. Okay, any other questions on the warm-up? Okay, I would urge you guys and encourage you to go over these and study problems like these for tomorrow's quiz. Okay? Okay, let's go over, well, I'll skip that for now. Okay, let's go over page 77, solutions. So everyone, if you don't have it out, go ahead and turn to page 77. Adam, what's wrong? Were you confused because it wasn't unit rates? Were you confused because it wasn't unit rates? Okay. All right, so page 77, if you have it on your desk, can someone remind us what a rate is before I go over these? What's a rate? Annalise, what's a rate? Good. It's two quantities that you can compare. It's two numbers that you can compare. If that's a rate, what's a unit rate? What's a unit rate? Mary? Yep. Yep. So comparing a unit to one of another unit, like miles per every 1 hour, ounces per gallon. You know, anytime you're shopping for something or trying to figure out what's the better deal, find the unit rate. That would be very helpful. Okay? Zach, what did you get for number 1? Good. 17 meters for every 1 second. Donatus, number 2. Good job. Number 3, Alyssa. Good job. Jeremy, number 4. Where did you get 122? Oh, no. Keep it as feet squared because you want it to be a unit rate. Okay, so over 1 feet squared, 1 foot squared. Okay, Alex, number 5. Good, 150 pounds. Okay, number 7, since it's up there, you should get $230. The other ones you didn't have to do, that's why they're blocked off. Annalise. If you wrote out for number 5, 30 pounds for every 1 day, that's fine. That's fine. 30 pounds for every 1 day should be the rate, and then if you solve it, you still get 150 pounds. Okay? Yeah, same thing. That's the same thing. You're good. Sean? Yeah, I didn't expect you guys to put that because that little word problem, you can call it a miniature word problem, did not specifically say write the rate and then solve. So if you just solved, I'm okay with that. Okay? Because I type my own tests, the directions will be more specific. Matt? Okay, I understand how you got that. That's fine. That's fine. Doug? That's okay. That's okay. Yep. Okay, anyone else on that homework? Okay, Annalise. I'm doing that right now. Okay, so if you did not turn in page 39, and because the page 77 is on the back, pass it up right now. So if you did not turn in your other homework, no, I don't need 77, but some people wrote it on the back. So if you didn't turn in your other homework because 77 was on the other side, pass that up now. And I'm going to grade those, and I'll give them back to you guys and girls tomorrow. Yeah, that would be helpful. So that you can see how you did before you take the quiz. So I'll make sure they're on your desk before you come in tomorrow. One is fine. Okay. Did you guys feel like you did better on this one than the one we went over yesterday? Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm going to grade them today, but I just wanted to get your opinion now. Oh. Okay, I want to go back to a word problem, and then I'm going to do some other guided review problems with you. So I want everyone to go back to your notes to page 8, please. There was a couple things I didn't finish yesterday that I would like to. Okay, so on page 8, I want to look at number 5. This is still the unit rate lesson. I want to finish, do a couple more of these problems, and then a couple more practice problems with you guys, and I'll give you some time to start the review in class. Okay, so while you're opening to page 8 in your notes, I'm going to start reading it. So it says, you have a membership to a local ski club. Sounds like fun, huh? The membership for the local ski club costs $40 per month, which includes 10 lift passes. You must pay a fee for each lift pass after the 10th one. 2 months ago, you paid $13.50 for 3 extra lift passes. Find your total cost for the last month if you buy 7 extra lift passes. There's a lot of information in this. We need to find the total cost. I wrote down for step 1 is that we need to find the unit rate. What rate do we need to set up to help us with this? So I'll say that again. What rate do we need to set up to help us with this? Adam, what do you think? Okay, so cost for every extra lift pass. Is that what you're saying? Okay, does everyone agree with him? Okay, I do too. So how do we set up that rate? So Adam's right. Charles, how do we set up the rate to find that? Okay. Good. Y over, tell me y over 3. Good. That was the cost of 3 extra lift passes. So someone else tell me, what is the cost, based on this example, for the extra lift pass? Sean? Good. So the cost for the extra lift pass is $450 for every 1 extra pass. I'm going to put X and then pass. Still write it as a unit rate, $4.50 for every extra pass. Remember from yesterday, you may also write it as per, every, for. That all means unit rates or rates as well. Okay, now we need to find the total cost. So, anyone have any idea of the equation we could use? And I started off with TC to mean total cost that we can use to figure this out. So don't just do it mentally. I want us to write down the equation. Annalise, what do you think? Okay, that's part of it. $4.50 times 7. Annalise, where did you get the 7? Good. We need to figure out the total cost based on 7 extra lift passes. What else do we need, though, to find the total cost? Justin? Good. What was that $40, Justin? What did that mean? Good job. $40 is your membership. That needs to be added because that is still part of your total cost Still your money you're spending. What is the total cost following 000? Should have more than 3 hands. What's the total cost? This is back to the beginning of chapter 1 of simplifying that. Doug? Nope. You're supposed to give me the total cost. Matt? Good, $71.50. So 7 times 450 is $31.50. And then add 40 to that, you get $71.50. Donatus? Give me a second, yeah. Questions on that problem? Not too bad? You might see a problem like this tomorrow. Okay, Donatus, what did you want to do? Like the example after that or the formula? Okay, wait till I get to that. Okay, so right in between number 5 and the ocean liner problem is, it says the distance formula. Have you guys learned this before? Okay, so the distance formula uses rates. That's why the book kind of throws that into this lesson. The distance formula is rate times time, and Donatus is going to explain that to us with the ocean liner problem. He already knows that, so he's going to explain it to us, right, Donatus? Well, hold on, wait till we get there. So distance is equal to rate times time. When you take a standardized test, you'll see this as D equals RT or D equals R times T. You'll see it either way. Bless you. And again, the reason this is in here is because it uses rates. So we're going to see how to apply this to a problem. Sean? Yes, you may. Charles? It should say per hour. Just to trick you. Okay, so the next problem, you notice I already crossed off house. That makes no sense to say an ocean liner travels at a constant speed of 36 miles per house. 36 miles per hour, what that should say. I know. Okay, so Donatus, go ahead and explain this for us. Go ahead. Yeah, read it first, and then I want you to explain it to us. Okay. How do you do it? Okay, why? Good job. Distance is equal to rate times time. So we have 36 miles for every 1 hour times 4.5 hours, which is the time. So all we're doing is multiplying them. When you multiply them, does anyone know what happens to the units of hour? When you multiply them, what happens to the units of hour? Donatus, what happens? Yeah, but what happens to them? We did this with fractions. I'm just trying to make you guys think about what happens with the units. Adam? Yeah, but what happens with the units? Yeah, but I still need a different answer. Donatus? Yep, but you're not answering the question. What happens to the units? Annalise? Nope. Nope. Zach? Nope. Okay. When you're multiplying, remember you can cross simplify. The hours cancel, and that's how you end up with 162 miles is the distance. When you're multiplying, just like when we're multiplying fractions, remember whenever we did this in chapter 1, when you're multiplying fractions, you can cross simplify. Well, it works the same thing with units. Because the hours cancel. Both units are hours. They're across from each other. That's how the distance formula works. You end up with 162 miles. Miles is still here.
Oh, I thought you were crossing out 4.5.
Nope, just hours. Just hours. So the point of this is distance is equal to rate times time. You're trying to find the distance. Okay, so the distance of the ocean liner traveling is 162 miles. Sean? Say that again? I didn't hear you. Yes. Yes. Annalise? Yep. Because you can. Whenever you're multiplying, you can cross simplify. They're gone. You don't need to know that. All you need to know is when you're using the distance formula, your answer is in the units of the distance. So if you don't want to cross them out, remember that your distance formula, you always end up with an answer that is distance. Yep. Emma M? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I just told Annalise. If you guys don't like crossing them out, you just know it's going to be in miles or whatever the distance would be. Okay. Let's see. At the top or bottom of those notes, I want to do one or two more problems with you guys. Okay, you can add this wherever you have room. I want you guys to write this down and simplify it for me. Either at the top or bottom of your notes, wherever you have room. No. I'm just jumping around a little bit. Go ahead and simplify this, and then I'm going to have someone answer it for us. Matt, what did you get? Yay. Raise your hand if you got that. Hold on. That's okay. Raise your hand if you got that. Okay. All of you are saying, why is it minus? Here's why it's minus. 12 divided by negative 6 is negative 2. Negative 3 divided by negative 6 is positive 1/2, or positive 0.5. Sean? Yeah, divide. Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. Divide. Because they're fractions. You see the fraction bar, Annalise? Yeah, if you don't put the x there, you're telling me the answer is negative 1/2. Because 1/2 minus 2 is negative 1/2. And that's not right. Annalise, do you know what I mean by that? Okay, so you have to keep the x there. You can't just get rid of an x because you feel like it. You know what I mean? Or forgot about it. Don't forget about it. It's going to be sad. Charles? Yes. Yes. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do one more thing, and then we'll do that. Okay? All right. One more. I'm sorry.
Wouldn't it be -2 for -3?
What's 3 divided by 6? 0.5. Right. You're always doing numerator divided by denominator. Okay? All right. Next problem I want you guys to try on your own, and then I will give you guys one of those long problems that Charles was talking about. We'll kind of do it together. Okay. Find the area. Okay. Find the area. You know something is 12, and you know something is 4 minus 2x. Find the area. If you're already done, just hang out for a minute. The units are inches. Well, hold on. Shh. I want everyone to try. Where's your answer? You forgot something. Where's your answer? No, try that again. Okay, Alyssa, first tell us, what is the area formula of a triangle? Then what? Good. Times half or divided by 2. So first, that's the formula. Matt, what did you get for the answer? No, you forgot something. Annalise, what'd you get? Nope. 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 Briar? Close. Mary? Inches what? Good. Okay, let me show you this. So there's two ways to do this. Let me go through the first way. Okay, first way is taking base times height and then divide by 2. So it'll be 12, and then in parentheses, 4 minus 2x, all divided by 2. So you can distribute first. We get 48 minus 24x divided by 2. And then the divide part, 48 divided by 2 is 24. Negative 24 divided by 2 is negative 12. I prefer to do it the other way, which is area is equal to half the base times the height. So what I did in my head is I took half of 12, which is 6, and then I distributed 6 to each of these. That's just what I did, because I just made this up. So I just did that in my head while you guys were working on it. You don't need to use the fraction part if you don't like having the half in front. You can do base times height divided by 2. Annalise? No, area of a triangle is always like this. We always did them like this. You're thinking of perimeter, I think. Thinking of perimeter? Okay, good. What did you do? 4 what? No. Can't do that. This term does not have an x. Remember, they're not like terms. Go back to the beginning of chapter 2. Okay? All right, let me give you guys one of those longer problems. And we'll do this together, though. Okay, so Charles, let me just clarify. So I'm going to give us one of those big, long problems. So your question was, if we put 1 into the original problem for the variable.
Yeah, it's like we take the variables away.
Yep.
And then take the variable out.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, and you will, so let's prove that. Okay, so here's the problem, negative, and then in parentheses, 21k minus 3 plus 4, and then minus 17k. So let's first distribute it with the variable and see what happens. Donatus? It's okay. Okay, so the negative here, what number is really here? What number? Sean? Good, there's really a negative 1 here that we need to distribute. So negative 21k, if you want to go ahead of me, go ahead. Plus 3 minus 4. If you guys don't have anywhere to write it, you can use your notebook or a piece of paper. Drop down the minus 17k. Combine like terms. Who can tell me what like terms we need to combine? Justin? And? Good. Okay, so when we combine like terms, what is our simplified expression? Alyssa? Good job. Negative 38k minus 1. So let's put a 1 in. If you guys put 1 in for k, what does that expression become? Briar? Negative 38 minus 1. Just tell me what the answer is. Negative 38 minus 1. You're adding the opposite. Good. Okay, so we get negative 39. So now let's go back to the original problem. I'm going to move this down here. Let's get rid of the k, and let's see if we get the same answer. You will. Okay, so we get negative 21. Oops, sorry, wrong thing. Negative, and then 21 minus 3 plus 4 minus 17. Okay, so do what's inside parentheses first, and then we put the negative in front. 21 minus 3 is 18, plus 4 is 22. Okay? You end up with negative 22 minus 17. You end up with negative 39. Yep. And that's what I tried to tell you guys yesterday, but I wanted to show it to you. But yes, you get the same answer. Kind of cool. Annalise? On this one? I just did step by step. 21 minus 3 is 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. You with me? We did combine like terms. These are like terms. And then drop down the minus 17. And then subtract. The negative 22 minus 17 is negative 39. Okay? Okay? Charles? No, it does not. Nope. All right. I need you guys to open up your book. Okay, and let me look at this before I explain. Okay, guys. Okay, I want you to do the odds. Okay, shh. What do you think, Emma? Okay, so I thought we'd have more time in class, but that's okay. I'm going to change it to be just the odds since we don't have time in class. Okay, listen carefully. Page 804 is due tomorrow, okay? 1 to 31 odds. It's the 2-1 to 2-3 review. After I take you guys out to the bus today, I'm going to post the answers on Blackboard under the Chapter 2 tab. It will be a PDF document at the very top of the Chapter 2 tab. Why would I do that? You can raise your hand and tell us, why would I post the answers for you after class? Why, Annalise? Yep, so that you can make sure you're ready for your quiz tomorrow by checking your answers. What else do you need to study besides just doing this? Emma M. Good, go over your notes. What else do you need to go over? Doug, what else do you need to? Yep, parts of Chapter 1. Basically what I did today, because I always make sure I hint to it. Charles, what else? Okay, hold on one second then. Okay, hold on one second. Besides that, go over any homework problems or warm-ups that we've done, okay? So just the odds, numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, which you're just doing 1 and 3 on the homework, it says to justify your steps. Don't worry about that, just evaluate, which means just simplify. Charles, you okay? Okay, so just the odds. I'm going to take a picture of my answer key right after I take you guys to the bus today. Okay, so you check them at school or at home. It will be under the Chapter 2 tab on Blackboard. Does everyone understand what I mean? If you have questions, email me or send me a message on Blackboard. I'll probably take about 5 minutes at the beginning of class tomorrow to see if you guys have any questions, or see me as soon as you get in here tomorrow and we can talk. Quiz tomorrow. Guys good? Okay, go ahead and get packed up. Good job today.